Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Wicked Review with Sean Schrock. I am Sean the King of Tourist in here, and of course, I am joined along with.
And it's your boy Rock the Mike. How we doing on this lovely hump day down here in Tampa, Florida?
Man, it's a good, hot, steamy day here in Tampa, man. How's you doing?
Man, I'm telling you, bro, it's like, like when you new to Tampa, you new to town, right? And it's like April, May, and I'll be like, man, it's hot outside. Do you meet a local? They'd be like, yeah, I know. Wait till it's summertime. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This ain't summertime? It get worse than this? This is, I mean, I can't complain though, because it's better than snow. And I hate to, go to the opposite side of the spectrum. And, I know it doesn't, most of us ain't have to deal with snow most of our lives, but I kid you not. If anybody asks, I way rather deal with the heat than the cold, hands down, any day.
Oh no, that's me all day. I mean, I didn't grow up in the snow, but I had enough snow and ice growing up that I was good. We had ice and snow every single year. I was over it. I was done with it.
Okay.
And as soon as I could get to some sunny place, I was there.
Okay. So all right. Well, you get that military toughness, so I give you the benefit of the doubt. But
I grew up in the West. But before we move on, why don't you introduce our special guest so he can go ahead and join this conversation with us?
So today, as you can see, we got a trio instead of a duo, more of a I like what we got going here. So the other week, if you guys were watching the show, we were shooting, not the other week, week before, I think, shooting live at Smoke Shop, Vibe Smoke Shop out in Riverview, Brandon, Florida. Had a great time, met some cool people. At the end of the night, though, we met somebody even cooler than that. As you can see, friend, future partner, hopefully we can do some more of this together. But the kid's a musician, artist, vet, father, husband, all the way from Georgia, which ain't that far, even though they beat my Michigan boys last year. So I'm gonna let that one slide. But Tay Graham, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm fine, man. I'm excited to be live with you guys, man. Meeting you guys for the first time, it was no accident or no coincidence. So here we are, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. No
we
problem.
Appreciate you guys. We appreciate you coming on the show, man. Gracing us with your knowledge of all things music and what you do. So how things going for you, man?
I'm working on a couple of things, man.
Okay.
One of the biggest highlights that I think of my upcoming music career is in August. I'm doing a mental health awareness event in my hometown.
Okay.
And I got a lot of things going on that day. And this is on the level of, I had to get approval from the chief of police, the mayor of my city, to for that support in that type of event, to where I'm just going to bring mental health and awareness of mental health to my community. And
okay.
Following that evening or that afternoon, I'm going to have a music fest. 13.
Is that in Buena Vista?
Buena Vista, correct. Yes.
Buena Vista. That's how you say it. I was thinking Buena. I say Buenos Tardes. I'm terrible.
Is it Buena Vista or is it Lake Buena Vista?
It's not Lake. It's Buena Vista, but Buena Vista. The southern slang, we just Buena. We don't Buena. We don't put the emphasis on Buena. It's just Buena. But you said it correct. Buena Vista. Beautiful view.
Okay. So I'm glad you brought that up because, before we got on, I'm not going to go into detail, but my girl, she's a therapist. A lot of people go to therapy, and as this is not saying something I struggle with, or I'm sure other people do, but sometimes, as a Black man in America, we kind of stray away from any type of, therapy or any emotional support. So the fact that you're doing that back in your community is huge because that's kind of where it starts when you're young. That has impact on your life in the future. Now, obviously, you being a musician, hell, I would have to be in therapy with all the, the nits and nats that comes with that. But before we go too further, Tay, give us, a little bit about your background, where you come from, what you do, and how you get to where you're at right now.
I'm originally from Buena Vista, Georgia, small town, probably a population of maybe 15 to 2,000 people. Tops.
Okay. Okay.
Um, a small town, man. One red light, literally one red light in the town.
Oh shit.
Uh,
Everybody
the
know
high
each other,
school,
I assume.
everybody know everybody, man. Like it's one of those. I'm from that place, man. Growing up, it's family oriented, man.
Right.
Like you said, everybody know everybody. I was into sports, but it wasn't nothing serious to me. I just did it because I had the talent, not the
Right.
skills. So it was like a lot of stuff got by because of who I am.
Hmm.
And growing up, I just music was my escape.
Was it something
Uh,
that you felt like, because a lot of times, like, I always use athletes as a great example, right? Because you start young, you start playing ball. Was music something that's like was introduced to you, or you just kind of like saw something and just had that knack for it? It came easier to you.
okay, so it was introduced to me by
Okay.
my oldest cousin.
Okay.
And I got introduced to the Lauryn Hill album.
All
Oh,
right.
that was a good
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
That the,
There you
the
go.
miseducation, Lauren
Now
Hill.
listen,
That's
I was like 6 or 7 then. I'll
God.
be
You made me
30.
old.
I'll be 30. I'll be 32 next month. So yeah, I was around 6 or 7.
Okay. So you're a
uh,
And
cancer.
I was sitting there
yeah,
driving.
so
I'm driving around in that record, man. You talking about 6 or 7? I'm sitting there riding around in my car.
yeah, you get what I'm saying? So like, you know what I'm saying? So it was at that age to where I was introduced to music, and by the grace of God, it was real music that I was
Mhm.
introduced to.
So let me
It was
let me ask you a question about that particular album, since that's one of the ones you mentioned. Was this that album that you were introduced to that kind of sparked it? Was it the Fugees also going into it, or is it just
it was
the
just
Lauryn
that it
Hill?
was just that Lauryn Hill. Yeah,
All right, all right.
it was just Lauryn Hill. Yeah.
So with with
Uh,
with Lauren Hill, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
you,
so obviously with Lauren Hill is going to be on the R&B side of things. Now, did you have a desire to maybe go that route, or how did you kind of switch over to the more rapping route, which is a totally different genre?
uh, what I got from that album was how to express myself
Mm,
in any way. You know, it didn't necessarily lead me to a genre. It
mm-hmm,
opened me up to emotions and feelings.
mm-hmm.
So I just used that as a form of like escaping anything that wasn't pleasant to me.
Right.
I'll
Mm-hmm.
put it in art. I will put it in any type of art form of like whether it's the way I dress
Mm-hmm.
or my grooming standards. Then I would like, okay, let me put it in a rap song, talk about how I dress, how I feel about myself in those areas. So it wasn't more so of a genre, it was more so of helping me how to express my feelings,
Okay.
not just with music either.
Okay. Did that
So
come
So
what?
easy?
that was
Go ahead, Sean.
So that was you as a child. What? Because obviously you went through stages for this. What was the next
mhm.
stage that you that brought you into the music industry? Or yeah.
When you can have so like growing up, my favorite artist was Ti.
Okay.
Ah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Ti
Like,
was Ti
Is
was
that
my
just because
favorite
it's a
artist.
Georgia thing?
Nah, Ti was
look,
really like that. Tip was really
yeah.
like that. Like he was
Thank you.
really like
Right.
that. But growing up, Ti was my favorite artist, well, rapper at the time. But it wasn't Ti. I want to say that to say what I'm trying to say. I
Uh-huh.
had guys in my community that meant more than me than Ti did because I saw them in the studio. I
Right.
saw them every day. I've seen them actually, you know, go in and write songs and record them. So it was guys in my neighborhood, um, Clay the Great, D Weave, Fabe, AD,
Okay.
Ozone Mayweather, guys like Cash Talk Raquel.
Okay.
These was the guys that I actually seen, going to the studio and do these type of things. So those guys is my other way of tapping into that. Just being inspiration. Just
Right.
seeing those guys. You know how they be like birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In some sense,
Yeah.
that's true, but in this sense, I was around so many people that was doing music. It was like, let me try it.
Yeah, kind of like like Kevin Durant's, for example, like high school basketball coach, right? It's not always going to be the top tier athletes that the world knows. It's somebody in your neighborhood. It's somebody you went to
Hmm.
school with. It's somebody you hang around with, and that makes a lot of sense. Like you said, you guys have to stick
So
together. Go ahead.
since these are some of the guys in the neighborhood growing up, listening to and not just listen to, but also collaborating with here and there. Uh,
Hmm.
this is like when it comes to sports or anything else. Some of the best people in the game aren't actually in the game. Was that something that you ran into?
Most definitely. Like with music, I'm not. I use music to express myself. I don't make music to be this rapper or this big
Yeah.
superstar. I would have more. I would feel like I feel like my calling is putting people in position to get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
So
I'm
more
not
more
so
on the producer end, you think?
more on like with my label, like management, like looking after people,
Okay.
like not more so of I'm gonna get you signed and you good. Like, no, let's read this contract. Let's see what you can get that'll benefit you more. Like in a
Right.
sense of like looking out for people, like
Right.
on my label, I'm not like, okay,
Which, by the way, the name of that label is Struggleville Records. So,
Struggleville Records. Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
I'll put that out there.
So
You want to sponsor us? Just go
it's
throw
more
that. Throw that out
it's more let's do it, bro. Like let's do it.
there.
And it was more so of like just with me music wise, I'm not looking to be like, oh, I need to sign a label. I need to get signed. Like, no, I would find more more I would feel more macho if one of the guys under me gets signed first. That's
Right.
that's what I'm trying to do. But it's certain things that I know I'm more knowledgeable of to where, of course, it's my record label. I'm gonna wear the hat. But my
Exactly.
hat isn't more of like the rapper. I'm more of let me see find ways to get my guys on without like my music like off of their talent.
Similar to
So
like Bad Boy Records, right? Like Diddy, right? Because he can
right,
rap and he performs every now and then,
right,
but at the end of the
right,
day, it's still his label.
right.
Okay.
Yep.
S-
Yeah.
So, with that being said, obviously the late Nipsey Hussle, I'm a big fan of his, and I used to watch a lot of like documentaries and stuff. And one of the things I remember him saying, and I don't even know what this means to be honest, but they were saying about like owning your own masters. What does that mean in a music sense? I have no idea what that means.
So basically, owning your own masters is if you make an album, right?
Right.
Meaning that in that contract, you own your music, but the record label own a percentage of it. Some contracts
Oh,
are for 10 years or 8 years, you can own your masters, you get a percentage, then the rest is ours.
okay.
After that contract is done, whatever revenue you bring in from that album or those record sales, it comes to us.
Okay.
So
So is
when you own your catalog after a contract, all proceeds of fundings that you do or get from that album will be directed towards you and not the record label.
okay.
Does it also give you the ability to sit
Let
to negotiate more as a one-on-one party with corporations for
with
your music versus
corporations, with artists, it gives you the right to like say like if you do a song right and I'm like okay I want to sample that instead of going through a label I can hit you direct like hey bro let me sample this that you said and if
Mhm.
you say yeah I'm good to go but it
yeah.
all has to be in contractual form for what I mean
Right.
record purposes.
Right. And that's the same with streaming softwares, right? So it's
Yes.
like, for instance, if your music on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever other platforms are out there, I'm sure they get a percentage as well. I mean, they're like the new
Hmm.
record labels, pretty much. It's just the
Pretty
digital
much,
record.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes a
So
lot of
like if
sense.
you I put my album on iTunes for like $12.99.
Okay,
Apple would get like $5.75 of that
okay,
Yep.
just to use their platform. So,
okay.
and that's why record sales aren't really like hard copies aren't really a thing now because record labels don't have to print them up, and do the
Right.
packaging and all of that. So now with the streaming services, you can get an album just by a click of a finger.
Yep.
Exactly. And I guess the only downside would be like Spotify and Apple Music are so huge that it's like it'd be like if they had a million artists. It'd be like if we'll say Death Row Records had a million artists on their label. You know what I mean? So I guess the pros is it's easy. Most of it's I mean, I'm sure they don't take too much. But the cons is you kind of have to be your own boss in the sense because you're not gonna get like the I guess you could say hands-on, record label team that's marketing for you, that's pushing this and pushing that. So it's a double-edged sword in a sense.
I think,
You know,
but don't you think you kind of learned that though, going through the process, the first go round?
you would think that. You would think that, but some artists are just so caught in, oh, the record label giving me 4
Mhm.
million, not knowing that I'm in a contract for 15 years. And after the end of my 15-year contract, I don't own none of my music. They own
Oh
everything
man,
because
that's
I took that 4 million 20 years ago.
why do
Yeah.
people it's just knowledge? Why do people take that type of
No,
deal? I guess
I mean, you have to look at circumstances like what people are going through. Like if somebody like, look, I have nothing, but I have a hit song,
mhm,
$4 million.
I'll
They're
take
not
it.
thinking
Yeah.
about 15. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
And I,
from
I mean, I
that
guess they
point,
could like fall off the map and still have 4 million, but say if they don't and they make it big, they only get in 4 million.
But 4 million,
right.
I mean, if you think about it, 4 million at that level is really not going to last you that long. 15 years
No.
is it's
Being
not.
a rapper
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to
is
live an
exactly.
expensive lifestyle.
you have to.
And
You
speaking
have
of that,
to.
like, how does that affect you? Do you feel like you have to? I mean, obviously, you can always you can do whatever you want at the end of the day, but do you feel like you have to portray a certain image to, kind of go with the theme of everything?
Um, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say a certain image, but a certain way that I carry myself. Like
Uh-huh.
I don't care
Right.
about the jewelry and the cars and all of that. Like I don't do music for that. I'm not trying to be like the image of a rapper. I want
Right.
when you see me, you see me. You see me pure, no distractions. You know me through my music. That's how I
Okay.
want. You know what I'm saying? So for some people, I will say this: image is 75% of any entertainment business.
Right.
If you look like you can do it, they're gonna make a way. I
For
mean,
you to do it.
you saw the verses with Amarian. Them guys can't sing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but but if they put the right pieces around you, they'll
Exactly.
make you what they because you can bring in money by your image.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
not
was
no, it's not.
there's an actual rapper that was ASAP Rocky, maybe ASAP Rocky, who literally just came in the industry just to make a certain amount of money, and then he left the industry, and that was it. That's all he
I
Yeah.
wanted
mean,
to do, come in,
ain't nothing wrong with
and
that.
that
I
was
mean,
it.
that's just like stocks, right? We was in the
Yep.
GameStop just to make some money. I don't care about GameStop. I'm in and out.
Yeah, but that's stocks though. This is a guy who said, "Okay, I'm going to devote this much of my life to this one thing, and then change." Was that
But
something
you,
you
but
think you could do?
but Tay would probably tell you. I mean, or you guys may disagree, but I feel like once you go down that path of being, an entertainer or an actor or a musician or whatever it may be, I feel like the mindset should always be like, even if I don't get paid for this, I'm still gonna do it. Like, even if I don't have a contract, I'm still gonna do it because you can always tell the rappers that are doing it for the contracts just
Mm-hmm.
because of what the things they say in their lyrics, their music, their fan base, whatever it may be. And then you can tell the ones that may never have a contract in the rest of their life, but still got a loyal fan base because what they're speaking is, you know, their passion in a sense. And Tay, I wanted to ask you, man, being in Georgia, obviously most people only know Atlanta, but Atlanta, Georgia, whatever you want to call it, has always been kind of the mecca of the hip hop world. I mean, you got Lil Jon. The list goes on. Was there?
Can we repeat that question?
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm saying, so being in Georgia, and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying specifically, most people just know Atlanta, unfortunately, but there's other great places in Georgia. But Atlanta, Georgia has been pretty much the mecca of the rap game for quite some time. Some may say, give or take New York, whatever. But is there, being around so much popular artists in music, was there anyone that you feel like you kind of vibe with the best, or maybe even emulate a little bit?
Um, I'm a I'm gonna say this. And it has nothing to do with the question, but I'm gonna answer the question. I know nothing about Atlanta.
I mean, not like them as a
No,
city personally.
I know what you're saying, but I just need to say that for people who say
Never
I'm
been
from
there.
Georgia and they'll
Uh-huh.
think, oh, just like you said, Atlanta is the mecca of music. So if somebody say they're making music from Georgia or where they from, Atlanta. No,
Yeah.
I'm from Buena Vista. I know nothing about Atlanta,
That's the
but
same as like when I'm like, yeah, where you live in Florida? Oh, how's Miami? Like, I don't I don't know. I
yeah.
never been.
So Atlanta, no, but Southern, um, J. Cole inspired me a lot.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
That's good. Cause like
Like
when when you were saying about like how you are just telling your story, I feel like he does the similar thing.
yeah, J. Cole is a person that that can guide me on how to
Mhm.
write a song, how to
Okay.
say certain things. So in Atlanta, no, Ti was my favorite rapper, but it was nothing like I can relate to Ti. He was
Right.
just like, he was just popping then. He made really good songs then. He was from
I
Georgia,
mean,
so it was
do
easy
you
to
think he was
gravitate
still?
to him.
I'm sorry. Do you think he was still telling the story? I thought. I mean, that's the reason
Most
why I like
definitely, yeah, he's
With
Ti
always
Ti?
told
back
the
then
story.
because I thought he's
Yeah,
always telling
yeah.
a long story.
My my favorite song for him is "Still Haven't Gave Myself" when he was telling the story about his friends getting shot. They felt like his
Mhm.
turned his back on. Like that story was crazy. So in that sense, yeah, yeah, he was my favorite rapper. He always told stories to me. But J. Cole's story was more like, wow, I seen my dad do that.
Right.
I remember my mom would say that. I remember I wore a coat to school with no shirt under it. And like we related more. It was more in depth, with J. Cole.
Okay. That makes sense. I wonder if, and you can answer this from your perspective too, like when because there's different styles of rap, you can be a battle rapper, you can, be more poetry based or whatever. But do you feel as if like when you speaking on your truths and you speaking about, your lyrics are based on real events or real things or how you really feel, and then you may hear a different artist who say the same thing, but it's not true. Does that like is that a pet peeve? Like, come on, bro. I mean, I'm not trying
No,
to say
I
like
mean,
knock their hustle, but it's just like, do you feel like it hurts you because it's like they're saying the similar thing, even though you actually are doing it?
no, no, it don't. Because at the end of the day, music is entertainment.
Right. Okay. All right.
You know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
That's
Like
true.
you,
So
you have you have people that blow up on TikTok off a clip. You don't even know the whole song. You just know that. How you know she choosing me? What's the rest of the song? Nothing against those guys. I'm just giving an example. You
Right.
can blow up off a 15-second clip overnight.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If
Especially TikTok or
I
something.
I'm happy for those guys. They're not gonna last though. You have to have substance to last. I have
Okay.
substance and content. I have a story. So no, it don't make me feel any type of way because it's all a form of like entertainment. All entertainment isn't real.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's true.
I like that.
So we were talking about your stage that you were coming into the music game, and you're talking about what you did for his Lauren Hill, and that's what and the guys
hmm
you hung out around then. So no success story comes without any kind of struggle. What was your struggle?
Uh, my struggle was it was more so of having not having a father, but having a father. Like
Okay.
me and my father had the best relationship, but at some point when him and my mom split, you know, from not going to see him, not being able to see him every single day and losing communication, not
Mm,
talking every day, not, waking up to my dad, not, what I mean, little things like that. It was more of, it's always, well, if dad was here, I don't know how it would be. If dad was here, I don't know if I would have went to the military,
Right.
if dad was here, not more so of like, I don't like my dad. My dad, and like things happen in life. Everybody don't stay together forever. you know, and I learned that at a very young age, man.
Right.
Like I learned it at a very young age, but it was more so about, you know, seeing my mother do everything, like literally everything.
Right.
And it's like I wasn't able to help, you know, because I was so young. So my
Mhm.
first opportunity to help, how
Yep.
can I get paid the fastest? I'm going to the military to help my mom.
Okay.
Guaranteed check. So it was more of like, you know, seeing my mother, you know what I mean, try to make me eat meat like
Okay.
every, you know, in
Yeah.
that sense of, you know, like struggling and you know, just my oldest, this is not like well, I'll say like an identity thing where I had to really find myself. My oldest brother, probably like the most popular guy down there. So
Uh-huh.
my identity was Sanjay's little brother. Bro, I have a name. You get
Who
what
your
I'm
brother?
saying?
Who your brother?
Oh no, I get
Yeah,
it.
who your
I get it.
Wait, wait, wait,
you
wait.
know
You
what
don't
I'm
I
understand.
came from a small city, so I get it. You know, everywhere I went, I was,
saying?
oh,
Yeah.
that's Reverend Harder's
Like,
grandson. Oh, yeah, yeah, yes.
So it's like, it's funny you say that, the care for your mother kind of made you who you are. Cause like, you were saying, with the label and you're helping others, it goes hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? So not saying like if dad was around things would be different. You never know. It could be exactly the same, but it all kind of makes sense. So Tay, man, I was on Spotify. I was checking
wait,
on music. I
can I
love the
say
album.
something right quick?
Go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
And that comment wasn't like to be like, oh, my dad wasn't dead. Like, no, me and my dad is like the best of friends, always has
Okay.
been. I just had to answer that question in depth so people would understand me more and my decisions.
I 100% understand that. You know how
Okay,
people
cool.
are though.
Okay.
They be
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
be
That's why I
oh his
had to
dad
make
wasn't
that
around, blah
clear.
blah blah.
Like,
Like,
no,
no, man,
me
my,
and my
my
dad
parents.
has always been the best of friends. Like, they just split.
I
And as
I
a kid,
Yeah.
you would
You're
wonder, like, if my dad was here, but it's not like, oh, my dad walked out and my dad didn't. Like, no, not that type of story.
I mean, your struggle, like you said, your struggle doesn't always have to be something hugely detrimental.
yeah,
And
nobody
I'm
has
not
to
saying a
die.
divorce is
Yeah.
not detrimental because it is, but I'm saying it doesn't have like Sarita said, no one has to die,
Mhm.
no one has to go
Right, right.
homeless. You know,
Yeah.
some things can just be, my parents split, and that's a lot, and people don't fail to realize of how much of effect that has on a person, and it does. It has a lot of effect on,
Yeah, like
especially
and,
kids.
and it takes a while for you to be aware of that. Like what age were you aware like okay, this happened and this made me who I are? Because I remember my parents divorced when I was 4. And as a kid, you don't really think about it. But I think when I was like 21, is when I really like, okay, well, that makes sense. Okay, that's why I act this way. That's why I am this way. Did you ever have that like, epiphany moments? Like, okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah. You know why?
Mm,
Because I have a son now.
okay.
And when he do certain things, like,
Yeah.
why would, like what?
Yeah.
So it's like, with me being present in his life, is like, but you'll ask yourself, why
if I,
this, why that? So, you
yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, what would he be doing if I wasn't here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, in that sense, like, dang, like, now I have a son.
how,
And I
how old is
act
he?
like, he'll be 8 in September. He's 7.
Oh
Ah,
man, you got
that's a
it.
good
Oh
age.
man,
That's
you ain't.
that's a good age right there.
Yeah.
That's still fun.
Remember, I say this. Remember the from I'd say 2.5 to 3 to 7 or 8 is
He'll be
when
7. My bad, he'll be
he'll be
7. Go
7.
ahead. Yeah.
That time, that age time period is like I feel like it's so important. I feel like that kind of makes you who you are as an adult
Mm-hmm.
because you're learning and everything is a sponge, and it's just like whoever you are in that 5 year period is who you're going to be when you grow up. That's when like the
I
doctors are
Bro,
I hope
playing with
God, I hope not, because who I was when I was 8 was whoo.
Hey, well, it's showing.
I'm just
and
saying.
bro, it's really like, amazing that you say that, bro. Because at such a young age,
Uh-huh.
I was so understanding, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like at that age when my parents split, like I wasn't angry at my dad. I
Mhm.
wasn't angry at my mom. It was just like I realized like, okay, like other people in my school parents are together. Okay, now it just happened to me. Like this is life. Like
Yeah.
this is really life. So yeah, man, it was just like with you saying that, like even to today, with me being an understanding person,
Uh-huh.
it's like people will be like, nothing bothers you. Like, no, it's not that I don't care or nothing bothers me. It's just that I know that people aren't perfect. I don't
Right.
I don't expect the worst, I don't do that, but it's just like if somebody doesn't do something that's like pleasing to me or like up to my standards or sits right with me, it's not like, oh, this is a bad person or why like,
Right. It's different.
okay, it's different. Like something happened in their life to where they did that way.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like,
E-
okay, it's cool. Like I understand, like it's just different. People do things different. So it's like at that age when me learning to be so understanding, it kept me away from a lot of anger that I could have had.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I
So
didn't choose to be angry and bitter at my dad and use anger to hate him to make me be who I am today. Like no, like it's different ways, but a lot of people isn't like blessed with that, you
do
know?
you speak on that in your lyrics? I was listening
Yes.
to the latest
I'm
album you had there. I fucking loved it. It was great.
thank
And
you, man.
What made you choose? What made you choose Spotify, or I'm sorry, not even Spotify, certain hosting services over others? Because we all know the big ones, the YouTube and the Google and
Um
Spotify, but
I'm
there's other smaller ones out there.
I would assume
I'm
it's just more traffic to the big ones, right?
yeah, I'm on traffic. Yeah,
Is
I'm on all platforms, but like the major ones, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music. Those are like the first ones that get, my
right.
music because of traffic and how big of a platform they are.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I was listening to you. So you got 5 albums, correct? If I'm certain, right? You had
Hmm.
The Fearless, The Growing Pains of a Freshman, PhD, Blood Brothers, and Dark Places. Now, obviously, your best work is probably I would assume your latest work because if you like me, you're always trying to get better. But in your
Yeah.
honest opinion, what was your favorite album or in favorite track and why?
Man, I would say my
It's tough, right?
favorite, man,
Because you like them
I
all.
would say,
You would have you
yeah.
don't write them if you don't like them.
Okay. You asked me two questions that I'm answering. My favorite is my first album because it was I reinvented myself.
Okay. And
I
that
reinvented
was The
myself.
Fearless, right?
That was the growing pains of a freshman.
Growing Pains. Okay.
That was the first one. And it was just like nobody never heard me rap on such a personal and
Hmm.
emotional level.
Was that hard to do
So
to put that out there?
it wasn't
Okay.
because I'm a realist. I'm a realist. Like if people who hear my music first, they're not gonna expect to see the person that they hear. And I want
Right.
that effect. Like, there's no way that you went through this.
Hmm.
Yeah, like life is real. Life
Yeah.
doesn't
Did you have like
discriminate.
any feedback from we'll say friends or whatever? It's like, oh, bro, I didn't know that.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so my favorite album is "Growing Pains of a Freshman." My favorite song would be "Serene" off of "Dark Places."
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. I'm gonna see.
that's the one
Serene.
I was listening to.
Yeah. But
I mean,
yeah.
that's on YouTube Music or Google Play Music or whatever.
Right. Right. So
Okay.
one of one of the hardest one of the hardest song I wrote, it was my first time, and with that song I opened up about when I got molested. So when I want people to feel like they know me before they meet me, that's how personal and deep I get. I talk about the things that people are afraid to talk about so that they
Okay.
won't be afraid to open up, and because that can really like really tarnish someone for life.
Oh yeah. It
Things that
Yeah,
takes
you know.
years. It takes decades for some people to, like I said, my girl's a
I don't
therapist, so
think you could actually get over it though. To be quite
I
honest.
you don't. I just think you. Well, this is just my opinion, but I just think you just learn to accept and cope with it. Type deal. It's like losing a family member. Like you're never
Yeah,
gonna be happy they died,
Yeah,
but you're gonna
yeah.
be accepting, and time heals. Most will say, but a lot of that is hard to come to bring to light.
Hmm.
It takes time. Like I said, I live with a therapist, so I mean, I don't listen to no conversations with them like that, but she works more with kids. But you can see how, like, when she talked to adults sometimes, I mean, she's never told me anything. She kind of just beat around the bush, but she'll say things like, it takes one trust, especially if you're talking to a stranger or even somebody you don't know, and then it's you don't just go for the juggler. You gotta build up to it, and you work. That constantly in contact and stuff like that. So that's tough to put out there. But like you said,
Well,
being who you
uh,
are, it's part of your music. It's part of your expression of yourself.
as someone who's in therapy and has been in therapy for a while, and a lot of military members are, you know, a lot of things that we discuss in those sessions, we wouldn't want to put out on a record or talk about at all. So
Right.
at all.
the fact that you are willing to talk about any of it is pretty amazing. What do you think? I know you mentioned the molestation. Do you think that was your hardest, or do you think there was a harder topic for you to discuss or for you to put out in your
Um,
record?
that was the hardest. Well, I'm not gonna say that was the hardest. It actually was the easiest because I didn't write this song out of anger.
Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't write it out of anger. It was part of my story of how I
Was it therapy
emotionally
for
and
yourself?
mentally, yeah, and it's like that is how I mentally and emotionally connect with my fan base because of how honest and open and vulnerable I am to discuss any topic or anything that has happened to me.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
and that's what a lot of people look for. They
It
look for the real. They want real in music, and that's something that you seem to bring. Um, Now you mentioned what your two favorite, what your favorite record and
Albums.
song off that was. What is your which one do you least like? I know you like them
yeah.
all.
Which
I know
one
you
you
like
were
them
like,
all,
damn
but
it?
which one you're like? Oh, I
Um,
wish I didn't put that out there.
it was my mixtape, Working While Working. Uh,
Okay.
it didn't hit the major platforms. It just hit Spinrilla. Yeah, it just went on Spinrilla. But I was just like, I'm just so passionate about music. I tried to mix and master it myself, and it was trash. Well,
But you
the
tried.
content,
But you
yeah, the
tried.
content, the content was still the same,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah,
the quality was like so
yeah.
trash. But I didn't. I just wanted to put it out, for a catalog wise, like you said. But yeah, that was the like only thing that
It's
like
it,
I like.
it's fun. It's funny you say that because it's like what I'm saying. Like if you don't try, you never know, even if it fails, right? Because so we've been doing a podcast for a while now, and as we go along, we make mistakes all the fucking time, and we grow, we learn, we get better. Now that I mean, 5 albums and we'll say 5 years is hella impressive. It's hard enough to make I can't even put paragraph together that rhymes, but you've learned, you've gotten better. Do you feel like you've gotten a ear for music? So what I mean by that is like when I listen to other podcasts or like say one that's the quality is not as good, I start to notice things. I notice little audio things. I notice, how people sound and stuff like that. Now that you are, an established musician, do you feel like you have a more keen ear for talent, especially being a producer than you did before?
most most definitely, bro. I got like 8 artists under my label, man, and every artist is different. Not
Hmm.
one sound alike. Not one is like, of
Hmm.
course, like you can collab with this, but not one artist sound alike on my label. So
Okay.
I find more joy in like recruiting than actually making music. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because with making music, it takes time for me. Like it may take me 2 months to complete one song
Okay.
because I
Yeah,
have to take my time. I can't just write a song. I can do it, but it's not going to be my best work, and I
yeah.
do not put out my best work when it comes like lyrically wise and making music.
So
So
what? Go ahead.
no, you good, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so what do you tell, our job when we interview guests, when we, or, even when we're talking to each other is, when we have a bad show, we'll say it. When we have, some music in the background and we catch you later, we'll be, upset about it. But you being, in a position to where you have to eye other talent, when you have a good one, you sign them. But what do you tell the people that weren't that good? Like how like it's almost like firing somebody. Like how do you go about, you know, telling the bad news?
I do what was never done to me, and I don't make it bad news.
Hmm.
If
Yeah.
someone comes to me, and if I don't like their music or if their quality isn't where it should be,
Okay.
Mhm.
the quality that I know it should be. This is my response. You send me a song, I listen. I'm not feeling it. First off, I'll be like, hey, bro, thanks for even considering me giving you any advice on your music. I
We'll keep
think
your
Yeah.
resume on file.
I think you should, I think you should keep making music, like keep doing it, bro. Like your
Hmm.
effort is impeccable, this, that, and third.
Hmm.
But I would consider that you start recording at a more quality studio for your sound.
So
Cause
you're
it's
trying to
not,
educate him.
is
Right.
yeah, it's not what you say, it's what they hear and how they hear it. If you
Exactly.
Yeah,
have
that's
poor quality, they're not even gonna want to listen to what you're saying.
Yeah, you could be spinning the hottest verse ever. And these days with AirPods and all these high-tech headphones, like they catch every little, tidbit of, a skip or a beat is off or anything like that. So you got to be kind of on your best. And with you especially, like and I hate to keep asking a million questions, but
Now
like
you good, bro. Like this we're here for.
what is like what's the routine, right? So like when I'm doing a show, you can't see it because the camera, I'm not gonna pan it around, but like I got my setup right, I got the mood right, I'm
Hmm.
in the zone. Like what's your routine to where like, all right, I'm about to write something, or even if something just comes to you, like what is your comfort settings and when you're making a masterpiece?
I don't have one, bro.
so okay. So since you don't have a conversation when it comes to masterpiece, let me ask you this: Where do you? What's your zone? Like, when do
Yeah,
you?
because I saw that you're a Kobe fan, so I know you got that Mamba mentality, but I
Well,
know
I'm
you.
not.
Um,
I'm not necessarily that. I mean, like, where do you go to that like it says, okay, this is time for me to recruit, or this time for me to write some or to put some, words on paper.
you know what's funny, bro? Those switches are always on. Like I don't
Yeah.
have like
Yeah.
it's like I don't I don't have settings. Like it's just it can just hit me for like a week straight, and then I go writer's blocks for three.
Right.
So it's like
Okay.
it's not
So you're
anything
not
that
you're not
trigger.
forcing it when you don't feel it.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I just
and
want to.
and
I mean, he's trying to.
and this goes along with like signing a record deal. Like me personally, I can't sign a record deal because you're not going to tell me I have to do 5 albums in four
Right.
years.
Because then you're on
My
a schedule.
mind and my life don't work like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It may take me. I did 3 albums in 2 years, and then I didn't write not one song 2 years because I just couldn't. I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
But then one day I'm at work and boom, 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 boom. Okay, I started back writing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So no record label is fit to do that, and I'm not about
Right.
to do it to myself because I can go almost a year or probably more without even picking up a pen. But
Right.
then I can get in the mode to where I'm writing for 4 weeks straight.
This is killing the
You know what
songs
I'm
left and
saying?
right,
So
left
it's
and
like,
right.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's
Yeah.
like you limit yourself with these record labels because I mean I can't speak for everybody. I'm gonna speak for me. Let's just keep it on
Okay.
me so y'all can understand me. Like with me, I have to go through things
Hmm.
Hmm.
To write about
to
them.
create my music.
Okay.
Yeah.
It could be something that happened today, but it was sparked 9 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can write about it 9 years ago because I don't have the life experience to know like how to say what I need to say, how to put
Okay.
out what I need to say. So it's like I don't have a setting, bro. Like I don't have a setting.
Yeah.
When
And
you
nobody never asked me that question.
when you're ready, you
No,
just
I
get
get
into
that
it.
though.
Yeah.
I get that though. But
I go
like
ahead. You got
we're
it.
always whenever we're whenever we're on location or anywhere, we're always you know trying to find our next guest or our next
Hmm.
audience or our next
Hmm.
listener, and that's what we're always trying to do. And that's
Right.
that's how Ciroc ended up talking with you at at our last location. And also at our last location, we got offers for other locations. So I mean, that's just kind of how it goes, like
Wow.
because you always have to switch on. So I get that. Uh, and I say that to ask this, since you're so from such a small place, Buena Vista, but also know that you were in the military. While you were in the military, did you pick up any
Habits or anything?
uh no, not necessarily habits, any potential uh artists
Yes, I did.
or yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, hell, y'all had
I'm
me in the military. I'd be like,
uh,
yo, my line would be, yo, I just hope we don't. I hope we don't die. Album volume 5.
I'm gonna tell you, bro. The president of my record label and the co-founder, I met them in the military.
Oh, okay.
They there was not nobody that I grew up with or knew me, but
Yeah.
it's it's like when you meet strangers, they don't know you. They don't know
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
So your first impression in your story is all you have, how you
Right.
carry yourself, your
Right.
image. And I would just came really good friends with these two guys, Matt from Miami and Catcher from Texas.
Shout out to
And I
Matt and
told
Catcher.
Struggleville, yeah, I told them my vision back in like 2011, man. And they're here with me today, preparing for Struggleville Fest and Buena Vista on August 6th. And yeah, man, with the help of those guys, with them, that's when we started recruiting for artists. My first artist was from Miami. He's from Miami, but he's here in Tampa now.
What's
Um,
his name?
Well, I was actually going to ask what if you could actually list all your artists because you said you have
okay,
8 on your
so
label.
Struggleville artists, we have Jugman. He's from
Okay.
Miami. We have the boy Ray. He's from Springfield, Massachusetts area.
Okay.
We have Black Migo Cash. He's from Buena Vista. We have
I was listening to him last night.
Fresh Kerr. He's from Buena Vista. We have CJ. He's from Buena Vista. We have Breezy. He's from a couple towns over from Buena
Okay.
Vista.
Okay.
We have Skrilla. He's from Texas. And Ozone Mayweather and Trado. All these guys, Struggleville and all these guys, like they bring something to the table.
Well, how
You
about up
know,
north? You ain't got nobody. You ain't got nobody from north of the Mason Dixon line.
No one wants
nah,
nobody from Michigan on their label, man. Keep that
nah,
Michigan
nah,
junk
nah,
up there, man.
nah, nah. I don't, man. But my thing is, whenever I get big enough, man, I can expand my recruiting and
Right.
branch
Exactly.
off and
So
Exactly. And
these.
do you only want rap artists, or do you want to expand or do you expand that?
because
I'm talking.
Drake put out that EDM album and that kind of shocked everybody.
I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna answer your question, but let me tap into that right quick. Like, but people fail to distinguish what an artist and a rapper is. Drake isn't
Okay.
a rapper; he's an
An
artist.
artist.
Drake can tap into every genre that one can possibly make.
Mm-hmm.
He's an artist. He doesn't have like he have groups of people around him when he write his music. Not saying that he can't write his music, but the creativity level that he can tap into, he need
Mhm.
others around him that's
Right.
already in that field to just know, hey, boom, boom, boom. Oh, that was a great idea.
Right.
So you have people who are rappers or just more entwined with hip hop who feel a certain way towards an artist
Right.
Yeah.
because they can't understand what's an artist and what's a rapper. I'm not an artist. I'm a rapper. I'm not going to be humming out. I'm not nothing against that, but I'm getting straight to
Dancing
the
all up
point.
in the
You know
videos.
what I'm saying? I'm getting straight to the point. We didn't have this, we did this, but we made a way.
Right.
I'm getting straight to the point, but yeah, what was
But
the
do you want to
question again?
expand
My
that?
bad.
But do you want to
Yeah, I
expand
want to
that? Do
expand
you
that.
want to?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I actually thought I had my first female singer here in Tampa, but
Who?
life happened.
What's her name? Oh, you ain't got to put her on blast or anything.
Yeah, I don't
You
want
ain't
to. I
got to
don't
put
want
her
to
on
do
blast.
that. But just recently we reconnected, and we're supposed to be doing some work. When if we get this work done, I'll reach out to y'all. Hopefully, she can be a guest on the show.
Please,
I
please.
mean, we might know some female rappers
And
and
what?
Yeah,
So
entertainers
like
as well.
when you were
Because
but
saying
that's the
like,
yeah,
thing. Like with me, like right now, like I don't personally like go. You know what I mean? If I'm
mhm,
yeah.
scrolling or somebody send me something, okay, boom, I like it. Okay, boom. But if I don't like it, the thing is with Struggleville, I have so much faith and trust in my management under me. If I don't like it and they give somebody an opportunity, I'm with it,
right.
Okay.
because it's something that they saw in that person that I didn't see.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So,
Exactly. It's hard for one, and I'm so glad you said that because me and Sean talk about this all the time. It's very people don't realize it is very, very difficult to try to do everything by yourself or maybe with one other person. So, like you saying, like when you busy or maybe you ain't thinking about it, you got a team that all have the same goal that can shoot ideas, that can do this, that can go
hmm
out and meet this person and so on and so forth. Like, with us, like, I'd love to have a third, like a cameraman or something, somebody's just, I mean, easy
follow
job,
you around
They
but
and
handle
so
all the
yeah.
basically handle all the stuff that I mean, you saw what we were doing behind the scenes, and that's a lot,
Exactly.
and
And
then that takes away from what we do here. We
and
can't give full attention to you, our guest, and
and
that I think that takes away.
and when you were saying with the artist here in Tampa, the girl that you wanted to sign, that kind of plays into like what do you think? You know, you've been around for a while, but what's like if you had a number one or even a number two thing that most I would say I don't want to say failed artists because I don't think anybody's a failure, but
Work
what is the
ethic.
reason? Yeah, a work ethic that why they give up most of the time.
It was never about me signing her.
Uh huh.
I just
Mm.
wanted to do a song to motivate her so bad. Like I wanted to motivate her because she's so good. It had
Right.
nothing to do with it had nothing to do with signing her. And the song was so fire. I just wanted to record it. Like,
Okay.
she's really good. But and that is another thing that I noticed, I noticed work ethic first.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the work ethic, because work ethic would be talent any day.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah,
If
that's
you're
true.
consistent, and I'm not consistent because I have to go through stuff. I just can't make a song.
Uh huh.
But my work ethic on other things that make me a rapper is very valid around me. So a work ethic, man, you have to have the work ethic, and if you don't, you will run yourself crazy with these labels
Is
because
that
they'll
some?
make.
Is that something? And Sean, you can answer this too. Do you guys feel like having a military background is that something that kind of carried over? Just because I mean I don't know how strict things are in the military, by all means, but I'm sure there's some type of you know the expectation of work ethic, and you think that helps a ton, out in the civilian world, I guess.
You can answer first, Sean. I'll go after
Oh,
you.
me?
Y'all about to kill me.
Uh,
Y'all about to kill me. I can see it. I'm just kidding.
well, I mean, I'll tell you like this: it still comes down to work ethic. Just because you graduate basic doesn't mean you have the work ethic to put it in. I
Okay.
mean, I have plenty of soldiers underneath me who, I had to put out because the work ethic wasn't there. If you aren't going to come, if you're going to come to formation late all the time, that's a strike against you. If you're going to, you know, go to sick call all the time, that's going to be a strike against you. It all adds up because all we see is you trying to avoid work, plain and
Right.
simple.
Okay.
And that brought me here. When I got out, I was, I retired, but I spent 2 years of trying to do nothing. And even that wasn't very well because I'm not someone who can just do nothing. I got to
Right.
do something. I've got to keep going on and on. I got to keep going because stopping means it's bad to me if I stop. To you, Tay Graham.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so I'm with me, um the military has discipline, but with me, I'm not. I'm gonna try to break it down so you can understand it. I'm
You
not a
bring in
hard
what you
work.
get out.
Yeah, like I'm when it comes to like me going to my job,
Uh huh.
they can depend on me, but I'm not a hard worker because my passion is art.
Okay.
But I understand life. I have to have an income. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like hard work on like a job, I just do what I need to do. But when it comes to like me starting my clothing line next year or
Mm-hmm.
focus on my artist
Whoa,
album
whoa,
or
whoa,
photo
whoa! You
shoot.
can't just breeze past that real quick. What do you mean you started a clothing line next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, me start this business next year. But anyway,
But yeah,
imagine
I'm
you
gonna
doing your
get to that.
taxes with your CPA. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, so what is this? Oh, let's start a business, but don't worry about that.
But yeah, man, like um just like with the discipline thing,
Mhm.
the answer would be like yes, because once you're trained to be like have everything in order, but everybody don't reciprocate like how the military prepares you for out the real world, you know.
Right.
Like they're not training you for the in the moment stuff. It's always going to be an afterlife. So those morals and standards take you places where just a normal civilian wouldn't understand, like
Okay.
on like
Yeah.
career path and like being patient and obtaining knowledge to
Patience is
certain
a big
levels.
one.
Hmm.
Patience is a
Yeah.
huge one, except for
So
ignorance. I
yeah,
don't have a lot of patience with
it,
ignorance, but patience is
it
my patience did increase drastically from the
hmm
military.
All right.
hmm
Good to know. It's good to know. Tay, so I want to bring just I only have two more questions. This one's kind of like a two-part, but
But
What?
before you ask your couple questions real quick, just at the end of these questions, we're gonna be playing a game called What the Florida.
Oh
Same
yeah,
one you saw us play at the shop the other day. It's gonna be against you and Ciroc. So as soon as you get some of these
I'm
questions, we'll go
undefeated,
ahead
by the way.
and
All
go
right.
You ain't gonna do
and
me
go
like the
into that.
Bulldogs did to Wolverine.
Yeah, we did that, and we beat Alabama too. But there's nothing.
Oh my
Go
god, that
ahead.
was the worst New Year's Eve ever. But yeah, we'll play What the Florida after this. Tay, so back to your music. I was looking. One thing, I love the album artwork. What kind of inspired that, or is that just random?
No, it was more of it was more of like the vision that I was trying to set for like the tone of the album. Like,
Okay,
like it's not a really deep picture, but once you understand the name of the album, it'll click with you then.
right. Like
So it's not just like,
for
go
instance,
ahead.
Blood Brothers. Obviously, you were on an album. Those are with was it Black Migo
Let
Cash?
me
I
go
said
cash.
so. And this is, I keep asking questions, but this is like, how does it? What's the difference? I mean, I know working on an album by yourself is it's all you, but is it difficult or easier to work with someone else, or is it just kind of like whatever?
It's way easier for me to work with someone else
Okay,
Mm.
okay,
because of, and I tell you why. Because of I can be an artist when I'm featured. I don't have to be a rapper.
right.
I can adapt to someone else.
Have you ever had that moment where you're
So
like,
which one do you
bro,
enjoy
that was
more?
whack as hell?
Huh?
Which one do you enjoy more? I
I
know you say
I
you're a rapper, but I want to know which one do you actually enjoy the most though.
I enjoy being an artist because it's not painful.
Yeah.
Being a rapper and telling my story, some stuff I don't want to visit, but I have to because
Right,
it's like when I'm writing it, is when I need to let it out.
right.
So yeah, like being an artist is way more fun.
All right, all right.
No,
You
I
hear
get
that?
it. No,
You
I
I'm
get
an
know?
it.
artist. I ain't no podcaster. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
And then last two. First question: what does the outlook like next 5 years? What's Tay gonna be doing in the next 5 years? What's the plan?
Oh, next 5 years, we'll be working together. We'll have our own studio, where by that time we'll have people like retired Tom Brady or the Tom G's to come in,
Yeah, if he retired.
podcast which podcast with y'all, but like definitely working with y'all within the next
Hell yeah.
upcoming years. 5 years from now, man, I plan to have Struggleville Fest in Tampa, Florida, man, and have Buccaneers a part of it, the Rays, the boats, like just big mental health awareness events that get recognized globally.
Okay. Wait, and
Yeah,
we
and
yo, and bro, we here to help 100%.
yeah. So
It's
next 5 years, man. Yeah.
it's very refreshing to hear an artist push so much for mental health, especially
Yeah.
a rap artist. So I applaud you for that.
Yeah,
I
because
know that comes from. I know some of that comes from military as well. But for as you know, as we spoke at the very beginning of the show, black men, we don't talk about it. Period.
no,
We don't talk about it. And
hold
then
it to our grave, pretty much.
go into therapy, let alone to talk about what we go through. That's a lot, and that's changing the way
Right.
we were brought up, pretty much. And I
If it's
think it's a good thing that you're putting it out there and putting it in your music, and it's getting it out there for people to understand and see and go, oh, it's not just them, or it's not just me. Other people are out there.
exactly.
So that's good.
Hell, I'll go to therapy, but I have to have like a black old man between 65 and 70 with glasses on. He got to look a certain way too, like for me to trust him. And Tay, last question for me at least, and this is kind of a silly one, but what's more loyal, the rap game or Sid?
Shit, most definitely. Look, he just hopped up. Sid, man. Sid is way more loyal, man.
So Sean, if you don't know, Sid is the dog.
Yeah.
I
That's my
assumed it was the
boy.
dog for a second. I was
Yeah.
like, I pray Sid is not like some person.
That's my boy. Yeah. The bulldog, man.
Um,
Sid. Come here, Sid.
Sean, you got any
Yeah,
last
yeah.
questions?
Actually, before we jump into what in Florida, my honest last question is this: what do you want to do with this? Not just in 5 years, but what do you want this to do?
Struggleville Fest
No,
or
that's just
what?
struggle with. I mean, like
What?
your record, your label, your company. What do you want it to do? What is the mark of success for you?
Helping my artists get to where they need to be by their word, not mine. So if my artists say, if I'm in a position to be like, hey, Graham, I want to feature with this artist, or I want to, host this event or
Hmm.
do this in my hometown. I want to give them that feel that I'm about to experience and a positive feeling that I never experienced.
Hmm.
So just positioning people to go to the next level.
Yeah, that's
All
good.
And
right.
my
I
thing is my thing is like laissez faire. Like I don't need no recognition, but just know like we here. Like do your
Exactly.
thing because there's more coming after you. This is what I do. You know.
Exactly. It's
yeah,
like
So yeah, man.
I
what's
mean
that guy's
it's like
name?
I got to tell
It's like Jimmy
everybody that comes on
IV,
the
right?
show.
Is that his name? Jimmy IV or something?
Jimmy, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like I
But
didn't know
I
who
ain't
what it was.
no
I saw that
fishing is though.
documentary.
Like
Yeah,
it gets tricky with when you get millions of dollars
Yeah.
involved and
yeah,
people. Yeah,
it's
it get
Listen, I
tricky.
want to pay
So
you.
that
I want to
part,
pay you.
like that part, is about like being honest with these guys, man.
Right.
yeah,
You can get somebody to stay with you for for longer than hey, we're gonna get this money, we're gonna do this. People like to see a plan.
Hmm.
The ones that don't want to
exactly.
last, the ones that don't want to last, they don't care about the plan. They just
Yeah. You say
run.
okay.
But the
Agree.
the ones that want the plan, those are the
They on
ones
that
that's gonna
roadmap.
stick through you. They gonna stick with you because you're showing them we're gonna go do this. Hey, we might hit road bumps, but just understand each
Right.
other. We can get this done. We did it before several times. Because every artist is unique and different in their own way.
Correct.
This is true. This is
So
true.
yeah,
100%.
that's it, man.
All right.
I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
So
While I'll get ready for what to Florida, you want to go ahead and tell everyone where to find you,
yeah,
where to
yeah. Go
find your
ahead.
artists.
Shout out your
Uh,
plugs.
Uh,
you You can find me on Facebook at Tay Graham, Instagram _Tay Graham,
Okay.
Snapchat Tay Graham 01, and Twitter Cassius Tay, like Cassius Clay, but Cassius Tay.
So I saw that. That's
And
where I got the Sid from.
yeah, yeah, and we can uh we can dig into the clothing line on our next session. So
Hell yeah. Y'all got my
yeah,
size though. I'm
yeah.
see, I got thick thighs, but then my calves kind of small, so sometimes
You
pants look
know
like
what
bell
though?
bottoms.
I'm gonna give you guys like a first insight, man. My my
Okay.
first my first drop is gonna be targeted toward LG. What is it?
LG
That
LGBTQ.
LGBTQZ.
is gonna be targeted for that community because I hate to use the term community with
Hmm.
humans,
Yeah, it's
but
like
Yeah,
they're different.
you mean like that group of people need to feel like they have something for them how they can express their self.
Yeah, because
So
community
my
should
first drop is going to be targeted for those guys and female,
commu-
guys, females, and males.
yeah, that's so weird to me now that I think about it. Because community, in my eyes, is like an area
Yeah,
versus
man.
yeah,
Like
but for some reason
I
it's a
hate saying it,
yeah,
people.
bro. Yeah. You ever
yeah.
thought about that? Though? Like I really hate that. Like we accept that label for humans. Like they're humans too.
I,
the
I hate the
ethnic,
word
the
community
ethnic,
for
the
humans.
urban,
Or
Yeah.
I hate the
the
word race for humans. I hate that one.
Yeah,
Oh, I hate.
bro. Like,
Jesus
but
Christ.
yeah. You guys heard it first. So if you guys know people of that community, once
Oh,
everything get to jumping, I'm gonna reach out to you guys like, hey, photo shoot on this day. You have somebody come through and
it would have been
more details.
it would have been a good month
Ooh,
for it because it's Pride Month right now. Well, for the
I
next couple of
know.
days.
Yeah, but
man,
next year
yeah.
around this time next year we'll be up and running with the clothing. So
Bet, bet.
yeah,
I'm down.
Great.
I'm down.
We're glad to have you come on here and launch it off of here. Be great. Be great to have you do that.
yes sir.
All right.
You ready for this
So with
whooping?
that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump into what to Florida. What to
We
Florida
ready,
is
Do it,
baby?
this
man.
game that we play at the end of every show, where I read three different stories, and you have to tell me if we're happening in North, Middle, or South Florida. Now, these stories can all happen in one place, so don't be tricked.
Now you may be from Buena Vista, but that's pretty
I
much
ain't from
Florida.
Florida.
Nah,
I ain't from
nope. That's not an excuse. I'm not either.
I'm gonna read all three stories first, and at the end, I will go through each story and tell me where they happened at. Are
Okay.
you ready?
Okay,
I'm ready.
let's do it.
All right, first story. Florida man drives on airport tarmac to take in the sun, deputies say. Here's the story.
Wait, he drew. What did he do?
He drove on the airport tarmac. Yeah.
For like the runway?
Yep.
Oh shit.
For what?
A Florida man was arrested Tuesday for riding his dirt bike on an airport tarmac, according to the sheriff's office. Deputies say Tony Coben, 18, passed several restricted personnel and prohibited access signs while riding his 2014 blue Yamaha dirt bike. Coben then continued to ride onto the tarmac, disturbing the flow of incoming and outgoing aircraft. Coben allegedly told deputies he entered the airport's airstrip through an automatic gate as another vehicle left the property.
That's like some
He
Grand
That
Theft.
was
That's
gonna be my
literally what you do in
question.
GTA. That is some
That was
Grand Theft
gonna
Auto
be my
stuff.
question. How did he get access to the airstrip on a dirt bike?
You know,
He was
somebody.
smart
That's what
about
it
it,
is.
though. He's like, I
He
got
worked
you.
there.
Deputy said that Coben acknowledged he was not supposed to be in the airstrip, but said he wanted to take in the sun and fresh air. Coben was
Okay.
taken into custody and charged with trespassing. Bond was set at $5,000.
That's it. All right, fair enough.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
had a
That's it,
bomb or
right?
something. I know they strict at the airport, so I'm thinking like at least 10 years.
At least I'm thinking 50, but that's me.
All right.
All right.
I think I know where to
Next
set.
story. Florida man accused of stealing over $10,000 in lottery tickets from his gas station job.
Wow.
Florida
He don't know that
deputies
they can track
arrested-
those, right?
Florida deputies arrested a Florida man Friday who they said stole over $10,000 worth of lottery tickets from the gas station he worked at. An affidavit said Davin Terrell Young, 22, was employed at a racetrack gas station from November 2021 until December 2021. Didn't even make a month.
Yeah, he
Did
didn't
not
even
even
win.
make a month. Did not even make a month. Deputy said that during that time, Young stole around $10,590 in lottery tickets from under the cashier's counter. The thefts happened approximately 100 times over 16 shifts, according to authorities.
Wow.
That's a lot to take for each.
He was losing because he was still working there.
I know.
I feel like if I stole a whole bunch of lottery tickets and I won one, I'm not coming to work the next day. I'm gone. I don't work there.
I'm telling you.
I mean, I don't know how that
He
works.
probably, he
do they track
was
you?
thinking. He probably was thinking, I have to come to work so I won't seem suspicious.
Yeah, there you go.
Even though I'm stealing on camera.
I don't know if you guys know who the Grizzlies are. Todd and Julie Cruz, they have a show on USA. But they just got convicted of wire fraud and all the other fraud things. They're looking at 30 years for $30 million worth of fraud.
This is so funny. Their son,
yeah,
he's in a relationship with his girlfriend. Last name is Metters.
Yeah.
Her father was my high school teacher. She's from Buena Vista.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way. That's small world. That's Georgia.
What do you do?
That's Georgia in a nutshell, though. Honestly,
what do you do in that situation? If your boyfriend, husband, whatever, parents were on TV and going to jail, like what do you do? What do you do when you're that person? Where you're like the boyfriend or the girlfriend? You just shake.
I'm the outside family.
Yeah,
like nothing about.
Like, exactly. That's exactly what you do. Like
you break up with
mom
them?
and dad ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with that's them. So
yeah. But the thefts continue with the story. Deputy said Young was seen taking the tickets on surveillance video. His former co-workers identified him as a suspect to it. Dang, he got snitched on.
I guarantee they was part of it too. They just like we got to.
I know. They're like someone's got to take this fall.
Yeah, he probably was keeping the winning tickets and giving them.
He's probably not lying.
Lost again. Oh shoot.
All right, and final story. There you go. Florida man's van being hauled by truck smashes into an overpass.
Okay.
Yeah. If I can play the video.
Oh, you got video?
Yeah. Wait, what was it?
Florida man's van A van being hauled by a truck smashes into an overpass. Being hauled by the tow
Wait, a
truck.
van being hauled by a truck. Okay, I'm trying to like. Oh, you got a video,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna see. I'm trying to picture what that look like.
Let me see. Who is
All
on
right.
me? It's on me. Or Ciroc.
Well, he about to play the video, but I already know
Okay.
the answer to all these. I was cheating. No,
He's
was
not
looking him up
lying.
as he was talking.
Google it. Use Google it,
Googling
everything.
all you care about keyboard. You got it?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
Here we go. And hopefully you guys can see the video.
Yeah, kind of. No.
That's gonna be the all right. And here one. That's my only worries. You guys won't be able to see the video too well. But we'll see.
All right. Because I get you guys like in my. Oh, there we go.
Oh man.
Okay, let's see. Oh, damn, he hauling the van like that? I was picturing like a toe.
On a toe or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he got it on top. Honestly, that's one of my biggest fears. Like be like low bridges, and I'm like, on top or something, and I just get my head knocked off because like on the movies, they'd be on top of a train and in the heads. If
So you can
that.
see it again.
Wow. Well, that's definitely on I-275. All right. I think so.
All right.
You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. So first story was the guy that drove the dirt bike on the airport tarmac.
North
I got an
Florida.
idea where that's at. So you can say north, middle, or south. I think the way we do it, south would be anything south of what?
Tampa? Well, pretty much, yeah. I-4 down is south.
Okay. Middle would be Tampa area.
Tampa, Orlando.
Middle is Tampa, yeah. Orlando,
Okay, all right.
Gainesville, all the way up to Gainesville and
Okay.
Ocala. So, and
So
then
I
north
would-
is everything above that.
I say the first story is north.
All right. North? You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay. I'm going to go with, let's see. Where would somebody do that?
So the first story, so listeners are
The
aware,
dirt
first
bike,
story
right?
was the guy who drove his dirt bike onto the airport
Yeah,
tarmac.
I say north.
I'm gonna go north just because I feel like it's a lot more old people that live up north, and they got a lot of more lax rules. So he was probably like, you know what?
A lot more
It's like if you went to the
rules.
Clearwater Airport, it's like 2 security guards for the whole airport. You could probably pull some shit off like that. So I'm gonna go north.
All right, you are both incorrect. It happened at Zephyr Hills. Airport.
Zephyr Hills. What the hell is that?
Zephyr Hills. Zephyr Hills? Where we get our
Like-
water from? Zephyr Hills,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
right up the
It's
street.
middle. It would be middle, right?
Middle.
Yeah,
Zephyr's Hill
it'd
would
be
be
middle
middle.
Florida.
Yeah.
Center.
I've been here 10
Central
years. I
Florida.
still don't know where Zephyr Hills is.
Yeah.
All right, fair
It's
enough.
literally in the same. It's in Pasco County. You know where Pasco County is? at.
Nah, I don't. I know Hillsborough is
Listen,
it.
peep this, right?
You've been here longer than me.
And peep this, right? I worked at the post office, but it didn't click on me that the Zephyr's Hills water was the
Yeah,
Zephyr's Hill right here.
Yeah,
I was like, where the hell is
Hey,
the
I
water
used to
keep
call
coming
Like,
from?
what if
I called it Zephyr Hillis when I first. I was like, Zephyr
Zephyr
Hillis.
Hills.
Where's Zephyr Hillis?
Yeah,
Yo,
like-
whoever's making this water is making it kill it because they
Yeah.
all over this Florida for some reason. All right. Story 2 was damn. That was the
Story 2 was the guy who stole
lottery
$10,000 in lottery tickets and didn't win a thing.
okay. I think I have an idea. Go ahead, Tay. You go first.
I've been seeing a lot of racetracks more here. So I would say middle.
Now you know there's racetracks all over Georgia now. I mean, I'm just saying.
I know,
They're
but
taking over.
I've never seen them like in Tampa to like recent years, maybe last year. Honestly,
Okay.
it's more Thorntons and Wawas than
Yeah, that's
racetracks.
true.
Anything. Yeah.
Racetracks and the Circle K's are more of like a Georgia thing.
That's
Okay.
true.
So I would say middle. I would say
Middle?
middle.
You gonna say middle?
All right. I'm gonna say I feel like crimes like that is always in Miami for some reason.
Miami.
I'm gonna go south. I feel like it was a foreigner and he just didn't know the rules of stealing. So I'm gonna go south.
Well, he definitely was not a foreigner. This happened at the Pinellas. Sorry, this is a Clearwater man. He was in
Oh,
Clearwater.
this was
So it
here,
happened in
pretty
middle
much.
Florida. Yep.
Middle.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yep.
All right. 0 for 2. 1 for 1. 1 for 2. All right, I got at least tie this. Okay. Last story was the tow truck we just saw with the van.
That guy smashed into the overpass by the tow truck driver.
I say south.
South. Oh
Yeah.
man, I want to say south, but if we're both right, I still lose. but if I can at least tie. So I'm just doing the numbers, even though I want to say South. I'm gonna go with middle this time.
Gonna go with middle. Gonna go with
Yeah.
middle, and Tate's going with south. All right. Well, Tate, you are correct. It
Oh,
happened in
come
Broward
on.
County.
I
It
can't-
happened in Broward County.
Over 3?
Yep. Florida Highway Patrol Lieutenant Indiana Miranda, so who actually has mentioned before,
So
is the one who responded to that. And
That's not a crime, though, is it? If if
it's more like
it is a crime.
Well, it is a crime. Yeah, because
it's a crime. You
it's
gotta
like
read
a traffic crime, like the way you tow or carry vehicles on other automobiles. Like it's
exactly.
yeah,
The guy,
like
the tow truck driver
weight
should have
and
known
everything.
because
Yeah.
you don't go to prison for that. That's like a ticket
No,
fine. That's
no.
not like a jail.
Well,
time.
I mean, because
he
he's a CDL. I mean, he's CDL, so he could face
Lose
like
his
a
license.
misdemeanor charge.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. He probably wasn't CDL qualified because he would have known not to
do that. Yeah.
transport vehicles like that.
That's true.
So
This is
can
true.
be like,
This is true.
You can eye that though.
This
You can be
is true.
driving and be like, "All right, I don't think we're gonna make this."
I know that's not right.
I know that's when you get in the far. There's a lane away from the person, and either you get
10
way
feet?
ahead or way behind.
Yeah,
You don't.
he
Shit, 30
He
feet in
couldn't
the
have
air.
had his CDLs because you learn all that, like height. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
Yeah.
Stop.
Like,
Definitely
don't
Miami.
go on the highway with this. Jeez, that's Florida for you.
They've already. They apparently we got good money for the roads though. They've already repaired the overpass.
Did they? Oh yeah. Oh, well, you kind of because people got to walk across. Do they? Is it like that in Georgia? Like, do they be wilding like they be doing down here in Florida?
There is some wilding, but not like this.
I think why I think with Florida more is more of the catch of Florida man or Florida woman. I think it's more of that appeal. Like crazy stuff happened in Georgia, but it's not like Georgia woman or Georgia man. It's an emphasis on Florida. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, and you can attest this like I can. Now, once it starts getting cold, everyone starts going inside, and so it dies down. Whereas here in Florida, no one goes inside.
Yeah,
so
it's always crazy. Someone told me that it's one of the big reasons is that Florida, it's a lot of information is public record, so like crimes and stuff, and there's a lot of other states where you actually have to do some digging to find like people. So I think when like something bad happens in Florida or some crime or something silly, it's immediately like posted online. I could be wrong, but that's what someone told me. It's just that the access to it is way easier.
No, I mean Georgia's got pretty much the same access. So does South Carolina. I mean,
all right, maybe it's the water. Then.
As a matter of fact, Florida is the only state where they don't actually put out the victim's name anymore because of Marcy's law. Yeah.
And listen, that's the catch. They took that away, so it's more emphasis on Florida man or Florida woman. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like yeah.
It does sound good though, Florida man. Like if it was like crazy. Montana man, it's like what?
What are they doing? Where's
what are they doing in Montana? Where is Montana? That's still a state, or did some other state eat it? Oh man. Well, hey man, Tay, I like I said earlier, man. We 130% appreciate you coming on such short notice too. Like usually,
that's
we got to set these up way in advance.
Yeah.
You was ready to go. You was on time. We apologize for being a little bit late. But bro, I mean, we got to have you on again. We want to work together. We want to get something going. Like I said, we do enjoy the streaming, but I mean, we'd love to get in the studio, get a live show going. All of us on there, whatever it may be. We want to work with you in the future. We appreciate you coming on. We support the music. We support the movement. And yeah, man, I mean, it's been great.
Thanks for having me, man.
We really want to thank you for coming on. It's really been great.
You're welcome, man. When I first saw y'all guys, man, and what y'all was doing, like I said, like I'm just like entertainment. It pulls me in any form, and I take it in as art because here we go again with me expressing myself. So I appreciate you guys, man, for allowing me to open up again, talk about things so you guys and the people that's tuned in or will be tuned in will be like, okay, this is a real person.
100%.
Not in a sense of, oh, I'm a street dude, but like this is a real human, like open, vulnerable in that sense.
Yeah,
because it's like, when people
you want to know more about, trust me, growing up, you want to know more about Puffy than we did. I mean, there's a lot we didn't know about Puffy until much later on because that's just how it was.
Yeah, because people prejudge and they assume when they hear a rapper, they start to associate it with certain things and expect certain things and certain tones and all this
Not that
other
he's a
stuff.
veteran.
And
Not
it's
that
just
he's a
not.
veteran who served his country
Well, it's not just that. It's like,
honorably. No, but I'm saying they don't expect that. Is what I'm trying to say.
well, it's not easy. Like everybody thinks they can rap for some reason, but it's
Oh
not.
man.
It's not.
I
It's
don't.
not like that. Like I can't even, bro. If you put a beat on right now, like this should be on World Star Hip Hop for the worst lines you've ever heard. But it takes talent, it takes grit, it takes drive and determination, 100%. So
It does.
And
Tay,
It does.
what that will work. Somebody will hear you rap and they'll make like a 6, 7 hook. So how
uh-huh.
they did the tomato, potato, green bean, how they did that sample. You see how crazy that blew up, just that one clip?
Yep.
Thanksgiving time, every Thanksgiving,
You'll,
that's like, come on.
you'll be an overnight success with your Michigan hat on. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll blow you up real fast, bro.
Tay, do us one more favor. Once again, go ahead, throw out your plugs again, just for the people that tuned in kind of later.
You can find me on Instagram at _TayGram. Facebook, Tay Graham, Taygram. Snapchat, Tay Graham 01. And Twitter, Cassius Tay.
Don't you hate
At
that?
Cassius Tay.
Don't you hate that Snapchat that somebody else stole your that
Name
01?
and then you man.
Mother 023755.
Yeah,
Damn it.
like somebody will think it's a fake account.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, hey, as soon as I see all that underscore, I'm like, oh no, this is some fake spam stuff. What
Well,
is this?
Exactly.
Nah.
Exactly.
But honestly, for real, thank you so much for giving us a great hour of entertainment
Welcome,
for our
man.
listeners. It was a great interview. You were very knowledgeable in the industry and how you brought it from A to where you are now. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. You're welcome.
And
You're welcome, bro.
we wish more success to you.
Thank you, man. I'll be talking to you guys.
All right. Well, you got anything else?
I am good, man. I'm all set.
And just hang out after we end the broadcast, and we'll
talk about how we do things later.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Thanks.
But with that being said, this has been the Weekly Review with Sean Rock. I am Sean Akina Torres.
It's your boy Rock the mic. Peace.
Thanks for listening.